Hello scholars, welcome to the Dakshinayani classroom. Let us first quickly recap what we have studied in the last lecture. In the last lecture we talked about field at an axial point due to a magnetic dipole. So what was that field? B axial point. Axial point field was mu naught divided by, if you write this as vector, mu naught by 4 pi bracket twice of magnetic moment vector divided by dq, where d is the distance from the center, m is the magnetic moment of the dipole, mu naught is the constant, b axial is this. So this we have studied in the last lecture. We also talked about equatorial point, field at an equatorial point. What was equatorial point field? Mu naught by 4 pi bracket minus of m divided by dq. Minus m because equatorial field is in the opposite direction of your magnetic moment vector. Now we also talked about B at a general point. B at a general point, it was mu naught divided by 4 pi m divided by d cube under root of 1 plus 3 cos square theta. This we have already studied in the last lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about what would be the effect on a bar magnet or on a magnetic dipole if that magnetic dipole is placed in a uniform external magnetic field. It will experience some torque, some force, there will be some potential energy that we are going to talk about. So let us first see what are the topics that we will cover in today's lecture. So we are mainly going to focus on two basic topics. Number one topic will be torque on a dipole. When you placed a magnetic dipole in a uniform magnetic field, it experiences some torque. So torque on a dipole in a uniform magnetic field, that we will see. When you placed a torque, when you place a dipole in a uniform magnetic field, it experiences some amount of torque. So we will see how much is that torque. Second, when you placed a magnetic dipole in a uniform magnetic field, it will acquire some amount of potential energy. So second topic will be potential energy of a dipole in a uniform magnetic field. So these are the two main topics that we are going to cover in today's lecture. You can pause the video and note it down, then we will discuss further. Now let us talk about what would be the torque on a dipole when it is placed in a uniform external magnetic field. Here there is a uniform external magnetic field B, and I have placed a magnetic dipole in this uniform magnetic field. Now the dipole moment from south to north, that dipole moment is making an angle theta with your magnetic field direction. Now pole strength of this dipole is m and length of the dipole is twice of L. So dipole moment magnitude m can be written as twice Lm, like this. Now as we have assumed that north pole can be taken as imaginary positive magnetic charge and south pole can be taken as imaginary negative magnetic charge. So your positive pole, which is north pole, it will experience a force in which direction? In the direction of your field. So force on the north pole will be in this direction and that will be in the direction of field. And force on the south pole experiences a force in the direction opposite to the field. So force on the south pole will be like this, Fs. So you can say force on north pole Force on North Pole. Force on North Pole can be written as what? Pole strength is M. Magnetic field vector is B. So force on North Pole may be written as M times B vector. That is force on North Pole. What about force on South Pole? So force on South Pole. So force on South Pole is in the opposite direction of the field. So that will be minus of M times B, opposite direction. Now, see here, since this is your dipole, your magnet, and here is your force, and since this is opposite direction to this, total force will be 0. Net force experienced by this dipole will be 0. But what about net torque? So net torque will not be 0 because this force will try to rotate this dipole like this in your clockwise direction, and same will be the case with this. Both are trying to rotate it clockwise, so total force will not be, for total force will be 0, total torque will not be 0. So if this dipole tries to revolve, try to rotate around the center, since this is a uniform field and this is your dipole, it will try to revolve around the center. Now if it tries to revolve around the center, what would be the torque experience? What would be the total torque? So let us write torque. Now which forces will apply torque? Torque will be experienced by either this force due to this force and due to this force. And if I can find individual torques, then I can simply add those torques in order to find the total torque. Now what would be the individual torque? So torque due to Fn. What is Fn? Force on the North Pole. So torque due to Fn may be written as. Now what is torque? Now whenever you try to find the torque applied because of a force, what you do? You find the position vector or radius vector from the axis. So if this is my axis at the center, this is my point of application of my force. So from here, if I draw a vector like this, L vector. What is L vector? Radius vector from the axis to the point of application of force on the North Pole. So what would be my torque? My torque may be written as L vector cross product with force vector. And what is your force vector? Force vector is this. So let us write force vector as M times B vector like this. So this is my torque on the dipole due to this force. Now what about torque due to force on South Pole? Torque due to Fs. What is Fs? Fs is nothing but force on South Pole. Now see here, if this is L vector in this direction, for South Pole force, your position vector or radius vector may be written like this. See here, like this, from here to here. Now if this is L, magnitude will be equal for both, but direction is opposite. So if this is L, this may be written as minus of L. So torque due to Fs may be written as minus of L vector cross with Fs vector. Now what is Fs vector? Fs vector is this much. So here you can write minus of L vector cross with minus of Mb vector, which will be how much? Minus minus will cancel out. So that will be L cross Mb vector. Now if you pay attention, this vector, this your torque and this torque, both are same. So torque due to force on North Pole and torque due to force on South Pole, both torques are equal in magnitude and they will have same direction. So what I can do is total torque. Total torque will be how much? torque due to north pole plus torque due to force on south pole. I can add those torques. What will be? L cross MB. L cross MB, same thing. So twice of L cross M times B. And since it is a constant, by the property of vector product, I can also write this as twice of ML cross with B. Now what is twice of ML? Now what is L vector? L vector is the vector from the center towards the north pole, like this, half. And which direction is the magnetic moment? Magnetic moment is also from the south towards north. So I can say direction of this L vector and your magnetic moment vector will be same. And what is the magnitude of magnetic moment? Twice ml. So this total vector can be written as nothing but magnetic moment. So your torque becomes what? Magnetic moment vector cross product with field vector. So total torque vector on a dipole when placed inside an external uniform magnetic field may be written as torque equals to M cross B. Now this is in vector form. If you want to write in your just the magnitude, then what it will be? Torque magnitude will be equal to M B sine theta. There, what is theta? Theta is the angle made by magnetic moment vector from south to north with what? With the direction of your magnetic field. Pause the video, note it down, then we will solve a question based on this. Now let us try to solve a question based on torque experienced by a magnetic needle. So the question is, a magnetic needle with dipole moment 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 2 ampere meter square is placed in a uniform field of magnitude 0.01 Tesla. So here assume that this is your magnetic needle, dipole moment is given, magnetic field magnitude is 0.01 Tesla, that is given. Dipole moment of the needle makes an angle of 60 degree with B. So that theta is 60 degree. Find the torque on the needle. Very easy question. What is torque? Torque experienced by any dipole when placed in a uniform magnetic field may be written as magnetic moment cross product with field, like this. So here I can write torque magnitude will be equal to magnitude of moment B sine of theta, where theta is this, which is 60 degree given. So T will be equal to how much? M. What is M? 6.7 into 10 to the power minus of 2 multiplied by field. What is field? 0.01, which is 10 to the power minus 2 multiplied by sine theta. What is theta? Theta is 60. So sine 60 is root 3 by 2. So root 3 divided by 2, like this. So if you solve this, you will get approximately 5.8 into 10 to the power minus 4 Newton meter. That will be the torque experienced by this needle when placed inside a uniform magnetic field. Very easy question. Pause the video, note it down, then we will discuss further. Now let us try to discuss one very peculiar point about the motion of your magnetic dipole in case if it is placed in a uniform field. Now see here, this is uniform field, and when this dipole is like this and the torque is applicable, which direction the torque is trying to rotate my dipole moment? The torque is trying to rotate the dipole moment like this in the clockwise direction. So what the torque is trying to do? The torque is trying to make magnetic moment parallel to your field. So your torque is trying to rotate your needle such that your magnetic moment becomes parallel to the field. And if I keep my dipole like this, then it will be rotated like this, anti-clockwise. If it is like this, it will be rotated clockwise. If it is like this, north here, south here, it will be rotated anti-clockwise. So the torque experienced by your dipole, it always tries to rotate it in such a way that magnetic moment becomes parallel to the field direction. Now, so meaning, if initially my moment dipole was like this, and if I rotated it by theta, so theta is rotated anti-clockwise, and the torque is trying to rotate it back into clockwise direction. So I can say the torque is applied in the opposite direction of theta. Meaning, if initially it was like this, I rotated it like this. So the torque will try to bring it back to the parallel direction. Meaning, if angle theta is in the anti-clockwise direction, torque will be in clockwise direction. If angle theta is clockwise, torque will be anti-clockwise. So direction of torque is in the opposite direction of theta, meaning the torque here is the restoring torque, meaning the torque is trying to bring it back to the position where field is parallel with your magnetic moment. If you remember, which case you have seen this before? You have seen this before in case of oscillation. When you displace a pendulum from the equilibrium position, the torque tries to bring it back to the original position in the oscillation. So same case is happening here. Equilibrium position is this. I displaced my needle by an angle theta from the equilibrium position, and the torque is trying to bring it back to the equilibrium position. So I can say restoring torque is applied in a direction opposite to theta. So if this is the equilibrium position, which is the equilibrium position where magnetic moment and field vector, they both are in parallel to each other, that is your equilibrium position. So if theta is your anti-clockwise, torque will be clockwise. If theta is clockwise, torque will be anti-clockwise. So torque will always try to bring it back to the equilibrium position. So if this is the case, then I can say torque will be equal to what? Minus of mb sine theta. Why minus? Minus because it is a restoring torque. If theta is anti-clockwise, torque will be clockwise. If theta is clockwise, torque will be anti-clockwise. And if this is torque and here it is my needle will have some moment of inertia. So can I write torque is equal to I times alpha, where I is the moment of inertia, alpha is the angular acceleration. Now here I can write alpha is equal to minus of mb divided by I. So this needle is doing what? Suppose that I displace needle like this and I left it here, then what will happen? The torque will try to bring it back, and while the torque is trying to bring it it will acquire some angular velocity, and after coming here it will move in this position. Again the torque will try to bring it back, again it will go like this and it will oscillate like this. So from here to here, then also here, then also here, and it will keep on oscillating, same as in case of oscillation chapter that you have studied. So alpha can be written as minus of mb divided by I times sine theta. Now if the angular displacement which I have made of the needle is very small, if the theta is very small, sine theta can be written as approximately theta. So here alpha can be written as minus of mb divided by I. Sin theta is approximately theta. And if you remember, in case of oscillation, angular alpha, I can write what? I can write angular acceleration as minus of omega square theta. Again, minus why? Minus because it will be restoring. If theta is anti-clockwise, torque will be clockwise. That is why minus here. So minus minus cancel, theta theta cancel. From here you get omega is nothing but your under root of mb by I, like this. And if omega is this, then what is your time period? What is the time period of the SHM here? If theta is very small, then it is performing SHM. Then what would be the time period? Time period of your oscillation and SHM may be written as 2 pi divided by omega. Now omega is this. So time period of the SHM in this case may be written as 2 pi under root of I divided by mb. That is your time period in case your needle performs an SHM. And SHM will only be performed when your theta is very small. Meaning the angle between, I have displaced my needle from the equilibrium position. This is the equilibrium position. So angle between magnetic moment and the equilibrium position is very small. So if I leave my needle, let us say at 90 degree, then that will oscillate, but that will not perform an SHM. If I leave at 10 degree, then it will oscillate and that oscillation will be an SHM. Pause the video, note it down, then we will solve a question based on this. Now let us try to solve a question based on what would be the time period of the oscillation performed by a needle in place of a uniform magnetic field. So here the question is, find the time period of SHM performed by a needle with magnetic moment 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 2 placed in a field with magnitude of magnetic field 0.01 Tesla. Moment of inertia for the needle is given as 7.5 into 10 to the power minus 6 kg meter square. It is a very easy question. You can pause the video and try to solve it yourself first. So what was the formula we have just derived? The formula is time period as 2 pi under root of I divided by mb, where I is the moment of inertia, m is the magnetic moment, b is the magnitude of magnetic field. So time period will be how much? Time period is twice of pi under root of 6.7, no, I is your 7.5, 7.5 into 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 6.7 into 10 to the power minus 2 times field. What is field? 0.01. So that is 10 to the power minus 2. So 10 to the power minus 6 divided by 10 to the power minus 4. It will cancel out, 10 to the power minus 2 will be left. Take that outside, you will get 0.2 times pi under root of 7.5 divided by 6.7. So when you solve this, you will get approximately 0.67 seconds. So time period of the oscillation of this needle will be approximately 0.67 seconds. Very easy question. In the examination, generally they will ask you based on this formula. You need not go much detail. This formula, if you remember, you will be able to solve most of the question based on time period or the oscillation of a needle in case of a uniform magnetic field. Pause the video, note it down. Now let us try to solve one more question based on torque experienced by a needle. Now here the question is, a magnetic dipole is placed in a uniform magnetic field as shown. Here it is a uniform magnetic field, here it is a magnetic dipole. Let us say dipole moment is m. Find the torque experienced by the dipole. You can pause the video and try to solve it yourself first. Now, in which direction this torque will try to rotate? See here, north pole will experience force in this direction. and south pole will experience force in this direction. So this torque will try to rotate this needle in the clockwise direction in order to align this such that magnetic moment and field direction becomes same, such that this torque, this needle becomes like this. Now, so torque can be written as what? Torque can be written as mb sine theta, or torque vector is m cross b. Now which theta you will take? Here 60 degree is given, but you will not take 60 degree. Why? Because theta is the angle between field vector and your magnetic moment vector. Now field vector is this, and which is the magnetic moment vector? Here, like this, from south to north. So what is the angle between field vector and magnetic moment vector? That is not 60, that is your 120 degree. So here angle between field vector and magnetic moment vector is not 60, that is 120. So what will be the torque? Torque will be mb sine of 120. Sine 120 is nothing but cos of 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So your torque is root 3 by 2 mb. This is your torque experienced by this dipole at this position. As soon as this dipole rotates, your theta changes. As soon as theta changes, your torque changes. So if the torque I am calculating root 3 by 2 mb, that does not mean that the same torque will be applicable at every time. No. As soon as this needle rotates, your theta changes, and as soon as your theta changes, your torque changes. Now, the question is whether it will perform oscillation. Yes. If you hold the needle like this and let it go, then it will go again and come back again, then again, and it will keep on oscillating. Same as if you hold a pendulum at a higher position and release it, then what happens? Pendulums comes back, goes other side, then comes back, then again goes side, and it keeps on oscillating. Same will be the case with this. It will keep on oscillating. Now the question is whether that oscillation will be SHM or not. So if you want to judge whether that oscillation is SHM, then what is the criteria? Angle between your M and B should be very small. But what is the angle here? 120 degree. That is definitely not small. So you can write that as a note. Since angle between magnetic moment vector and field vector is not small, this needle will perform as oscillation, but those oscillation will not be SHM, but not SHM. Why not SHM? SHM will only be performed when this theta is very small. Then only you can approximate sine theta to be approximately equal to theta. For large angles, you cannot approximate sine theta to be theta. So they may ask sometimes that whether this will be SHM or not. So if theta is very small, you can say that it will be SHM. If theta is not small, it will not be SHM. Pause the video, note it down, then we will discuss the next topic. Now let us try to discuss that what would be the potential energy of a dipole in a uniform magnetic field. Here there is a dipole placed in a uniform magnetic field. Now we have already discussed that when a dipole is placed in a uniform magnetic field, that magnetic field will apply some amount of torque. What would be that torque? Magnetic moment M of the dipole cross product with field. So that is the torque applied by this field on this magnetic dipole. Now in which direction this torque is trying to rotate this field. This field is trying to rotate this torque. See here, right hand. This is your what? This is your magnetic moment. So M cross B. So inside. So torque is trying to rotate it clockwise. Or you can remember it like this, that whenever torque is applied by the field, that torque tries to make magnetic moment parallel to field vector. So here magnetic moment direction is this, from here to here. Field vector is this. And if you want to make it parallel, you will have to rotate it clockwise like this. So this torque will try to rotate this dipole in the clockwise direction like this. Now, if I want to increase this angle theta, now what I will have to do? See here, this torque is trying to reduce this angle theta. But if I want to increase this angle theta, then what will I have to do? I will have to apply an external torque opposite to the torque by the magnetic field. So if I apply a very large torque, then this needle will acquire some kinetic energy. But if I want to slowly increase theta, slowly means I want to slowly increase theta such that kinetic energy, angular kinetic energy of this needle does not change, then how much torque I will have to apply? Suppose when you have done questions in Newton's laws of motion, there is a block. If you want to slowly move that block, then what you have to do? You have to apply force equal to the friction force. In the same way, here this torque due to field is trying to make it move in this direction, and this torque is trying to make it move anti-clockwise. And if I have to slowly increase theta, then this T external must be equal to torque due to field. So here I can write T external must be equal to torque due to field, which is MB sin theta. Only the magnitude we are talking about. Now, this will be the case when? This is the case when I am trying to make it move very slowly. If you rotate the dipole without changing its kinetic energy. So here you can write, if we rotate dipole without changing, let's write that here, without changing its kinetic energy like this. So if you do this, if you want to rotate it like this, then torque external must be equal to torque due to field, which is equal to MB sin theta. We are taking just the magnitude here. Direction of these two will be opposite to each other. Now if I am rotating it like this, so as in the case of rotational motion, you have seen that when torque applied is given and you rotate that body by angle theta, then that torque does some work. In case of force into displacement is work. So in this case, let us say that because of this torque, my dipole, magnetic dipole, is rotated by a very small angle. Why very small angle? Because as soon as you change the angle theta, your torque changes. But if we rotate by very small angle, let us say d theta, then for d theta, I can assume torque to does not change very much. I can assume torque to be same. So because the dipole gets rotated by d theta, this torque external will do some work, and that work will be stored in the needle and field system as the potential energy of needle. So what I can say? Work done by external torque, T external, it is tau external, not text, by external torque will be stored as potential energy of the system. Now let us try to find out how much is the external torque is there, or what is the work done. Now, so tau external dW, small amount of work done, because initially it was like this, you rotated it by very small angle d theta. So work done will be dW, very small. So that dW can be written as external torque multiplied by d theta. Torque multiplied by angle rotated. If it was force, you would write force multiplied by displacement. So torque multiplied by d theta, and since torque and d theta are in the same direction, there is no need to put minus sign anywhere. So that is T external times d theta. So this is work done, and this work done will be stored as the potential energy of your needle. Now, so what is work done? dW integration will be equal to, here T external, what is T external? mb sin theta. So I can write integration mb sin theta d theta, like this. Now mb you can take outside. So dW can be written as work done. Work done will be what? Work done will be mb integration sin theta d theta, like this. mb is a constant, m is the magnetic moment of the needle, that is a constant, b is the magnitude of magnetic field, that is a constant. So I have taken mb outside, integrated this. Now here I can say integration limit from where to where. Let us say that initially angle made by magnetic moment was theta 1, and the finally angle made by magnetic moment with the field is theta 2. And I want to know, in making angle from theta 1 to theta 2, how much work is done by this torque external. So what I can say? W will be equal to, here I can write limit from theta 1 to theta 2. So W will be equal to m times b. What is the integration of sin theta? Integration of sin theta is minus cos theta. So minus of cos theta from theta 1 to theta 2, like this. Take minus outside, put the values, you will get what? Work done will be equal to minus of mb bracket cos theta 2 minus of cos theta 1. That is the work done, or this work done may also be written as change in potential energy. So initially potential energy something was there, and when I rotated, then potential energy changed. So that much energy of the system has changed. So work done by this torque external is this much, and this external work done is stored as the change in potential energy of your system. So you can write this as like this. So if you want to know the change in potential energy of the system, then if the initial angle made by moment with field was theta 1, final angle made by the moment with field is theta 2, and magnetic moment is m, field is b, then change in potential energy of the system delta U can be written as minus mb cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. Remember, theta 2 is the final angle, theta 1 is the initial angle. Pause the video, note it down, then we will solve a question based on this. Now let us try to solve a question based on the formula that we have just derived. It is a very easy question. You can pause the video and try to solve it yourself first. Now the question is, a bar magnet with magnetic moment 1 into 10 to the power 4 joule per Tesla is placed in a field with magnitude is 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 Tesla. Find the work done in rotating the magnet slowly, remember, slowly, from a direction making 60 degree to 90 degree with the field. Now, So what they are saying that initially the magnet was making 60 degree with the field, magnetic moment and the field were at 60 degree to each other, and finally they are at 90 degree to each other. So we have derived the formula. It is a formula based question, very easy. So work done can be written as change in potential energy, and that is this much. So that is how much? Minus of m. What is m? This. So 10 to the power plus 4 multiplied by b. This is b. 4 into 10 to the power minus 5 Tesla. Cos theta 2. Remember, theta 2 is the final angle. What is the final angle? 90. So cos 90 minus cos theta 1. Cos theta 1. Theta 1 is what? 60. So cos 60. So like this. This will be how much? Work done will be 4 into 10 to the power minus 1 minus of 4 into 10 to the power minus 1 cos 90. Cos 90 is what? Cos 90 is 0. So cos 90 is 0 minus of cos 60. Cos 60 is what? 1 by 2. So minus of 1 by 2. So minus of 1 by 2 like this. So here it will be how much? Minus of 4 into 10 to the power minus 2 divided multiplied by minus of 1 by 2. So minus minus plus 2 into 10 to the power minus 1. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 1 will be what? Your 0.2 joule like this. So work done by your this force, whichever force is trying to rotate it from 60 to 90 will be 0.2 joule, and this is nothing but what? Delta U. So when you rotate your magnet from 60 degree to 90 degree, its potential energy has increased by what amount? By 0.2 joule. Very easy question. Pause the video, note it down, then we will discuss further. Now we have derived the formula for work done or change in potential energy of a dipole as minus of mb bracket cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1, where theta 2 and theta 1 are the angle made by magnetic moment of the dipole with the field. Theta 2 is your final angle, theta 1 is the initial angle. Now remember, this is change in potential energy, not potential energy. So whenever you are trying to find the potential energy, you will have to take a reference point. So here what is delta U? Delta U is U final minus U initial, and that is equal to minus of mb cos of theta 2 is the final angle. So theta final minus cos of theta initial like this. So if I take initial position as to be 0 potential, so which potential I can take? U final minus, let us say if this is my direction of field, then I can take 90 degree. If my dipole moment is at 90 degree with my field, here 90 degree, then that can be taken as position where potential energy of the dipole is 0. So U final minus U 0, initial energy is 0. That can be written as minus of mb cos of final angle. Let us say final angle is theta minus initial angle. Initial angle is taken what? 90 degree. So initial angle, potential energy 0. So initial angle will be cos of 90 like this. So here I can write U final minus this position. I have taken 0 potential energy, U initial 0. So 0 equals minus of mb cos 90 is 0. So cos of theta. So here you can write U, potential energy of a dipole, may be written as minus of mb cos theta. Now what is mb cos theta? mb cos theta is nothing but magnitude of your dot product. So minus of m dot b like this. So potential energy of a dipole when placed in a uniform magnetic field. Here this is my magnetic field direction. So potential energy of a dipole when placed in a uniform magnetic field may be written as U equals minus of m dot b. Here this formula gives you the potential energy at that point, at that angle. This formula gives you the change in potential energy when you take dipole from theta 1 to theta 2. Where what is theta? Theta is the angle between your magnetic moment vector and field vector. Pause the video, note it down, then we will solve few questions based on this. Now let us try to solve a question. Now you can pause the video and try to solve it yourself first. Now the question is, a magnetic dipole is released at a position as shown. So here this is the direction of field. I have shown only one field line, but you can assume that field lines, there are uniform field everywhere. So as shown, find its kinetic energy when it makes an angle 90 degree with the magnetic field. So initially this dipole, magnetic dipole, was held like this. It was held like this, kinetic energy 0, and I released it. When I released it, what it will do? See here, I have told you before that torque applied by the magnetic field tries to make magnetic moment parallel to your field. So here, what is the direction of magnetic moment? This is the direction of your magnetic moment, and that is your direction of field. So if I rotate it anti-clockwise, then it is becoming anti-parallel, not parallel. So the torque experienced by the force, by the field on the dipole, that will try to rotate it clockwise, this direction. That's only your magnetic moment will slowly become equal, parallel to the field vector. So what they are saying is, find its kinetic energy when it makes angle 90 degree with the magnetic field. So initially this is the angle. Finally your dipole becomes like this. Angle is 90 degree. So I want to find the kinetic energy of the dipole, because torque is applied, angular acceleration is there, so it will accelerate. So there will be rotational kinetic energy. So when it is 90 degree like this, movement is like this, what would be its kinetic energy? Now how we can do it? Now see here what you can do is, you can apply the concept of conservation of energy. So the change in potential energy will be converted into kinetic energy. So when the needle rotates like this, its potential energy decreases and its kinetic energy will increase. So what we can say here, I can apply the conservation of energy concept. So first let us find the change in potential energy, and we can write change in potential energy equals to kinetic energy. So what is here change in potential energy? Delta U. Now delta U may be written as, if you remember the formula, minus of mb cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. So whenever a dipole goes from theta 1 to theta 2, change in potential energy may be written like this. Now what is theta 1? Is theta 1 60 degree? No, theta 1 is not 60 degree. Why theta 1 is not 60 degree? Theta is the angle between magnetic moment and field vector. So here this is magnetic moment vector, this is field vector. So this will be theta, this 120 will be theta, this 60 will not be theta. They have written 60 in order to confuse you. So theta 1 is 120, theta 2 is final position is 90. So theta 2 is 90. So you can write delta U is minus of mb cos of 90 minus of cos 120, like this. So that will be minus of mb cos 90 is 0, minus of cos 120. Cos 120 is your sin 30. So minus of sin 30, like this. So like this. So plus, okay, minus plus sin 30 1 by 2. So minus of mb divided by 2. So your change in potential energy is minus of mb by 2. So when potential energy decreases, your kinetic energy will increase. So you can say here delta kinetic energy will be equal to minus of delta potential energy. So minus of delta potential energy will be plus mb by 2. So change in kinetic energy will be plus mb by 2. So your kinetic energy changes by mb by 2. But if you remember, the dipole is released. Released means initially its kinetic energy was 0. You released it. So kinetic energy at this point will be equal to change. So kinetic energy will be equal to mb by 2. So change in kinetic energy mb by 2. If the initial energy was 0, final kinetic energy is mb by 2. So this way you can use the formula for change in potential energy in order to find kinetic energy. Remember, when a dipole moves in a uniform magnetic field, its energy, total energy will be conserved. So you can apply the formula for conservation of total mechanical energy. In that case, change in potential energy, here minus of change in potential energy will be equal to delta kinetic energy. You can remember this. So whenever a question like this you can use this delta Ke is equal to minus of delta U. Pause the video, note it down. So next question is related to the previous question that we have already solved. The question is, in the previous question, what is the maximum kinetic energy of the dipole? What was the previous question? Here a dipole was released from this position and they were asking what would be the kinetic energy when the dipole makes a 90-degree angle with field. Now in this question they are asking what can be the maximum kinetic energy of the dipole. Now remember that we have studied or discussed that in this type of questions we can apply the concept of conservation of energy. So the maximum kinetic energy is possible when your potential energy becomes minimum. And what is the minimum potential energy possible? What is the potential energy? Minus of mb cos theta. This is your potential energy. So when it is minimum possible, now remember, minimum is not 0. See here, if I put 90, theta is 90, then cos 90 is 0, then potential energy is 0. But if I put theta as 0, then cos 0 is 1, mu is minus of mb, so it is less than 0. So minimum potential energy is not at 90 degree. When is the minimum potential energy? Minimum potential energy will be for theta equals your 0. So for theta equals 0, what is the theta? Angle between magnetic moment and field vector. So for theta equals 0, U minimum is possible. So when the dipole has minimum potential energy, when magnetic moment is parallel to your field vector. So this is that. So if for theta equals 0, potential energy is minimum. So we can say for theta equals 0, kinetic energy will be maximum. Whenever potential energy is minimum, kinetic energy is maximum. We are applying conservation of energy. So in this case, what I can do is, I can try to find out from this position to the minimum position, how much potential energy has changed. So how much potential energy has changed from this angle. Here the angle is 120, not 60. So from this angle to the minimum position, what is change in potential energy? Delta U will be equal to minus of mb cos theta 2. Theta 2 is the final angle. Final angle is from here to 0. So cos 0. Why we are taking final angle to be 0? Because at 0 potential energy is minimum. And if potential energy is minimum, kinetic energy will be maximum. So cos 0 minus cos theta 1. Theta 1 is 120. So theta 1 120, like this. Now, so here delta U will be equal to minus of mb cos 0. What is cos 0? Cos 0 is 1. Minus of cos 120. Minus cos 120 is minus of 1 by 2. So minus and minus will be plus. So plus 1 by 2. Like this. So delta U will be equal to minus of 3 mb by 2. So, in moving from this position to a position of minimum energy, potential energy has reduced by this much. And if the potential energy has reduced by this much, kinetic energy must have increased. So delta kinetic energy will be equal to minus of delta potential energy, and potential energy change is this. So that will be plus 3 mb by 2, like this. And since the initial kinetic energy was 0, this entire change in kinetic energy will appear as final kinetic energy. So final kinetic energy will be equal to thrice mb by 2. Kinetic energy maximum will be thrice mb by 2. Now how we can say this will be maximum kinetic energy? Because at final position potential energy is minimum, and when potential energy minimum, kinetic energy will be maximum. So whenever you get this kind of question, you can use the concept of conservation of energy. Pause the video, note it down. So this was the end of your lecture number 11. In this video, we talked about what will be the torque experienced by a magnetic dipole when placed in a uniform magnetic field. We also talked about what would be the time period of the oscillation of your magnetic needle. And we also talked about what would be the potential energy of a magnetic dipole when placed in a uniform magnetic field. In the next lecture, we will talk about Earth's magnetic field. Until then, keep revising and keep solving problems.